everybody, Dizzy Crafter here with another part of the camera box. This time we're going to be doing the actual mini album that sits inside the camera box. If you've not seen the previous video, then please check the description box because part 1 will actually be up as well. And to do the mini album we're using these two dies. We're using the spine die from Simply Made Crafts by Helen Griffin, and we're also using this Snapshot mini album die set. This comes with lots of dies and it does look confusing, but it isn't really that confusing. I've placed mine on magnetic sheets, so we're mainly going to be using these ones for the pockets. Not really going to be using this section of the dies today, and we did use this outer of the die as well. To make the actual mini album you'll want to cut out 5 pieces, that's this die cut, and for the spine you'll want to cut out this one piece and 3 of these pieces. So we're going to make the pages first, and you've got to decide which way you want it. This will go landscape or portrait, and we're going to go portrait with this particular mini album. So the first thing to do is to do all the folds, and taking a bone folder, giving it a really good binding and crease. Try and make sure all the corners are married up when you do this back piece. And then you want to glue this piece down. I'm just using the Nuvo glue, by the way. And burnish that down. So you want to do that on all 5 pieces. So once you've glued all 5 pages, then you want to be moving on to the spine area. And first of all you need to figure out which section you need to cut, because these spines are actually bigger. So we're basically going to be using this one, so we need to be cutting at this particular cutout here, if that makes sense. So we're just going to cut away that. If we was going to do it landscape, we would be cutting at this dotted area here. But as we're going portrait, we need the slightly longer one. And you just use these dots as a guide. And you want to do the exact same with this spine area and go to the 5-inch mark there. So now we've got your pieces, you need to bone fold all the areas that have got the seam lines on there. And because this is the spine and we really want this structure to be really good, so I'm going to be using the red liner tape from Hobbycraft. And you want to place down a piece of the red tape down the centre of this spine there. Burnish that tape onto the back of there to make sure it's nice and snug fit. Remove that tape. And we're actually going to put a line of glue just to add that extra bit of adhesive, because you really don't want this spine breaking on you. And plus it helps with some manoeuvrability. So the first piece we're going to put in the centre. I'm just going to eyeball this. Finish that down again and then lift those flaps up. And then we're going to just repeat the other sides, and we're just going to put them either side of this one, making sure there is a slight gap on either end. And we're not going to come to this crease here, we're going to have a gap there as well. I'm going to eyeball it, like I say, making sure there's a slight gap either side. Once that's done, we're just going to take all the pages, flaps, not the actual pages but the flaps of this mechanism, the spine, and we're just going to bone folder them all that way, and then we're going to turn them around and bone folder them the opposite way. This will help with the movability of the mini album once it's all erected and make the pages turn with ease. That's your spine done. The next thing I've done, you could have actually used these dies here in the centres or these ones here to decorate the pages, but I wanted a full page of the pattern I was using, so I've literally cut down all the pages that I want to do, and we're going to attach them to each of these pages. Make sure all your pages are facing the correct way. So I'm going to have it where the glue side is here. Got all the open sides at the top and all the open sides to the left. I'm not actually going to cover this front as yet because I actually want to make this my front cover, and I want it all decorated with the spine itself. So first of all, I'm going to turn that over, and there's the sizes. I actually cut the card down. This measures 9.5 by 12.5, so I've cut the cardstock at 9 centimetres by 12 centimetres just to give me that little bit of a gap. I'm going to take this is going to be my front cover, which I'll decorate later, and then this section is going to be the next page. So I'm just going to adhere all these coloured pages onto the cards. So that's all the pages with the pretty papers on. I've also made some of the pockets that are part of the album die set, and I've done some of the little inserts as well. So I'm going to glue these inserts on top of the pockets, then we'll make the pockets up. Now we've got all those glued down, we're going to let them dry, and then we're going to put the red liner tape on these flaps for the spine. I know we're going back in two, but I just rather wait for the glue to dry a little bit better. So it's always better to do that than trying to work on it while the glue is wet, because things will just move. So once you've got all the red liner tape on, you want to take your bone folder and burnish each one of those red liner tapes to make sure it's securely onto the cardstock. So I'm such an idiot, guys. You can probably see now why I'm actually called the Dizzy Crafter, because I'm so dozy and dizzy. When I started the video I said we needed 5 of these pages. It's actually 8, and it's only as I've come to go and put things on and work out which one I want, I've realised obviously there's 8 prongs to this spine, so hence you need 8 pages. So I'm really sorry about that if you've actually been crafting along with me to do it. Hopefully you've watched this first, then you're going to go ahead and have a go at it. And actually, for the reference, I'd really love it if you tag me in any pictures you've done with these dies, and I'd really love to see what you come up with as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to go off camera and I'm going to make 3 more pages and cut out some more pictures for the pages. Right, I've rectified that. I've got all my pages done. So now we're going to attach the pages to the actual spine, and I'm going to work from the back page all the way to the front page. So this is going to be my back page, and I'm basically just going to take this red liner tape off, she says, a little bit. So I'm just going to bend that over like so, and I want to do the same on that side, but I feel like I'm just going to do one side at a time. I want to make sure this is nice and straight as well. So I'm just going to place this inside. And I'm literally just pushing it and butting it up as far as it will go. Fold it down, and then hopefully we can get that stranded piece. And we can press down, and I've already messed it up. It's not going too well, is it, guys? So I'm going to have to put some wet glue down here now, which I probably should have done, which it wouldn't have stuck until I was happy with it. So let's try that again. I'm going to line it up in the centre there, and then I'm going to push that up as far as it can go. I'm going to turn it round to make sure it's actually butted up right to the end of that, and it has this time. Got there in the end, guys. And then we're just going to remove this tape inside here and then put some glue on there as well. It is very fiddly, but it's well worth it in the long run. I'm actually just going to put the glue on the edge of the inside, actually. And then I'm just going to burnish that down. So that's our back page on. So we're just going to continue with the pages in order and until every page is on there. Hopefully I won't mess up too much and we'll get this on. So again, I'm only gluing that one side, but now on this next page we need to be making sure it's lining up with that back page as well. Just take a bit of manipulation, and when I'm saying lining it up, I want to make sure the bottom and the top of the pages are flush to this page, so that it's not a wonky book. We don't want a wonky book. So we've got all the pages now attached into the book, and it's proper coming into its own. But the next thing we need to do is to make sure that these two, you don't have to, but I like to keep these two sealed so these don't actually have a pocket in them. So I'm just going to take some glue and seal them in. I'm just going to use some of the Nouveau glue again, but I'll put it in the fine tip. Press that down, which then should seal that pocket in, and then we're just going to do the same on the back piece. We need to decorate the front, and these are the papers I've chosen out of the same pack, so it's the same as what I've used on the lens on the front of the camera, but a purple way of it. So we're just going to attach these onto there. Again, I've just cut these out myself. That was lucky. I never actually checked that I was actually doing it the right way, but I have. So make sure if your paper's got a certain way it needs to go, that you're actually placing it on the right way, which I'm a bugger for not checking, and I just didn't, and I just felt lucky that it was okay. We just need to put the spine on. Now the dies that come with this book, they do actually have some dies that make tags to go inside, but I found they was a little bit too small, so I've actually created my own, and for this particular way I've done a piece of card, and I've just cut it at 12.5 centimetres by 8 centimetres wide, and then they do give you this little tag pulley here die, so I've just cut that in coordinating cardstock, and we're just going to put some decorative papers on the front of them. So you want to be making 6 of these. I actually used my corner rounder, my corner chomper, or whatever it is, the wee memory keepers, to go around the edges of the card, and then on the insert papers I've used the scallop edge corner chomper. And then the way I've actually done mine is so that each tab is in the middle. So line up in the book, you've got your tags in the right way, so they're not all in one space as such. And then all you're going to do with them is place them inside here, and they look great for matting and cards, putting photographs on there, any kind of journaling, anything like that. So the next thing to do, we need to put some of these pockets inside the mini album as well, but first of all we need to bone fold all the crease lines in here. So we've bone folded the pockets, and now we're just going to attach them. And there is actually 2 different size pockets, so you could have one on the side and one this section. We're going to place these pockets inside the mini albums. I'm only going to do 1 pocket per spread of the pages, just to avoid some bulk. And they do actually offer you 2 different size pockets, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have 1 double spread with the pocket that size, and then the next section will be one this size. It will still be slightly bulky in the corner at the ends, but it won't be as bulky if I'd just done all of them this side. To make these though, when you've done them, I tend to, before gluing them in, I like to glue these ends down here, just to give it that bit much flatter in the end basically. So I'm just going to pop that on and just hold it there for a few seconds. You could actually do all of these in one go and just use your paper clips to hold them in place. Right, so I've glued all my little tabs down there, and now all I need to do now is to glue them into whichever side page you want to go with. I'm going to place mine on the very bottom of the actual mini album itself. I'm just going to press that down and then hold it into place for a few minutes, and then take the bone folder and give it a really good burnish down. So I'll just place some more paper clips around because it is quite bulky and I want to keep it as flush as I can. So that'll just, while that glue sets off, but I'm still going to continue to do the pages. So because I put the pocket this side, on this side I want to put it on this page rather than all the pockets being on one page, just to alternate it, as we're already alternating the shape of the pocket itself. And we're just going to continue to do that all throughout the whole book. I've glued all the pockets inside each page what I want to make, and this is what they look like. And then all I want to do then is make some tags to go in, and all I'm going to be using is some nestability dies. So I've got some square dies here, and I've also got some, it's like a torn paper look. I'm going to be using these ones in the longer pockets, and I'll be using the square ones in the shorter pockets. I've die cutted all the squares and the rectangles out, and what I've done, because a lot of these papers are actual papers or a light cardstock, so I've doubled up and cut them out twice and then glued them together. And these are going to give us photo mats and also journaling spots. So on each side I've got one patterned and one plain. So these are the styles I've gone for. In fact, that's not plain, but it is more or less. And then we've got 3 rectangle ones, and then all these are going to do is going to pop inside each of these little pockets, and you can put photos on these or journaling spots like I say. And then we've got big spaces here ready for bigger photographs and stuff. So I'm actually going to leave that there, but I'm going to decorate and embellish the book and the camera off off camera because it just takes way too much time, and I'm sure you just don't want to see me doing them, but I'll be using a multitude of dies and stamps and stuff like that, so stay tuned and I will be back with the finished product. I've now got the photograph of the little baby. She is now arrived, so we need to place it in here. So the best way I do this is I open the frame up, what I'm going to be using, and then I'm just going to put it exactly where I want it to be, and then take a pencil and just draw a faint circle. It doesn't have to be anything major, just so we've got a rough guide of where we need to glue the photograph on. So then we're going to take some of the wet glue and we're going to adhere the photograph down. I'm just going to place that exactly where I want it to be in that circle. Once I'm happy, I'm just going to touch that, but I'm going to put piece of card over it so I don't put fingerprints on the photograph, and press lightly so that then can dry. I also realised I hadn't put the flash pieces on, so I'm going to put a couple of these flash pieces on as well on top of the flash. And again, just cut these out in mirror card. And then to glue this on, I'm going to be using the hot glue gun again, but I want to make sure it's closed so that the pattern paper is actually going the way it needs to be whilst it's closed. Unfortunately, I'm not going to struggle again with the hot glue gun trying to get it in camera, so I will do this off camera, but I'm basically just going to put hot glue gun in between each of those brads and then place it on top, and that will be that camera box complete. I decorated the camera box up and this is what I've come up with. I've used numerous dies and stamps to do this, and some stickers actually. It's like this little mermaid here. I've used stickers from the range and then I've put her on cardboard and cut her out a few times. I've made these grasses here. You're just using some paper and I've coloured them up with my distress inks, and then just cut them down and quilled and curled every bit. I've used some buttons here for the actual camera button, and then I've just put some diamantes around the lens area. So that's the finished decorated camera. These are the dies I mainly used for the decoration from the Gemini, which is Ocean of Love box, and I've used lots of these within the camera itself. And I also used the Elements, which is the Ocean Paradise, and I used the mermaids and the little fishes and stuff in there. And then this die cut set which I got from Craft Stash. So I've decorated the mini album up, and I've put the little baby's name on the spine here, which is Nevea, and it's just some little stamps and die cuts, and then lots of little mermaid and under the sea characters, some seashells, fishes, octopuses, some grasses and stuff. And then I've actually coloured her in like Ariel style, which is like, when you think mermaid, most people would think Ariel from Disney. So I thought, like, because she had the seashell bra, that I thought that's really like very much like her outfit on there. So we'll have a look inside. By the way, I have a permission to actually show the photos in here, so don't be worried about that. So then inside we've got the little pockets and the tags, and then we've got the baby, and I've just embellished it with a few of the stickers and stuff. And then inside we've got more photographs and tags, and we can do some journaling on the back or more photographs. And this is it really. So we've done lots of like the seashells and more tags there, and they can put more photo albums. They can put more photos in there if they wanted to, and it just continues like that. And everyone I've got, like you see, I've got these tag pages inside as well. So that was the mini album, guys. So I hope you actually enjoyed doing this tutorial with me. I'd love it if you would comment and subscribe and tell me what your thoughts and ideas are. Does it make you want to go and buy this set from Craft Stash? I mean, there might be other places that sell it, I don't know, but Helen Griffin has definitely come up with a brilliant concept here, which I know isn't new, but it was fairly new to me. Like, I've only had it a few months, the dies, so I know this is the third one of these I've made, and of every one I've made is different, and every one I've really enjoyed doing. This one was a little bit more challenging for me, just because I'm used to doing flowers and stuff like that. So basically you just open the camera up, which, just move those tags there, and then we're just going to bob that inside and then close that up, and it's all nice and neat inside there. So it's a lovely keepsake box. So yeah, so that, I don't think I can really say any more, but if you like say, if you have got any questions, just give me a bell. On Instagram, TikTok, here. If you don't answer your comments here, it's because I'm not getting the notifications for some reason, but if you are, then please go and find me elsewhere, and I will let you know if I can help you, I will. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.